Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and we're spending this week in southwestern Kentucky to visit Mammoth Cave National Park. We'll bring you down below ground to witness the longest cave system known in the world. We'll also hike above ground in the national park to better understand how Mammoth Cave came to be. We'll get out kayaking on beautiful Nolan Lake while we're camping right here in this beautiful lakeside campsite. So stay tuned. Mammoth Cave National Park covers 52,000 acres in south central Kentucky, above the longest known underground cave system in the world. As of 2022, more than 426 miles of cave passageways have been surveyed here, and experts believe that the system may actually include up to 1,000 miles once all unknown passageways have been explored. Mammoth Cave National Park was established on July 1, 1941, after more than a century of private cave tourism that preceded it. Legend has it that the first European to visit Mammoth Cave was either John Houchin or his brother Francis Houchin in 1797. While hunting, Houchin pursued a wounded bear into the cave's large natural entrance near the Green River. From the beginning of the 19th century, the cave system's reserves of saltpeter and calcium nitrate were mined to produce gunpowder, but by the 1840s, the site started being exploited as a tourist attraction. Today's national park contains over 80 miles of trails to explore above ground, where we can gain some insight into the geology of Mammoth Cave beneath our feet by hiking the trail network surrounding the park's visitor center. There's no fee charged to enter Mammoth Cave National Park, but tickets to enter the cave, either guided or at times unguided, come with a charge that an annual interagency pass doesn't cover. Not far from the visitor center, we've arrived at Mammoth Cave's historical natural entrance. The earth in this area contains a layer of limestone beneath a harder cap of sandstone. Streams crisscross the forest both above and below ground, carrying water to the Green River, which bisects the park. Underground streams carve cave passageways through the limestone. And as the Green River Valley has eroded deeper and deeper over time, the local water table has dropped with it, drying out the cave passageways as it makes its descent. Meanwhile, surface streams have eroded the sandstone capstone, and along with numerous sinkholes, have opened entrances to the cave system below, like at both the historic entrance and here at the entrance to Dixon Cave. In many places along our hike today, the capstone layer above Mammoth Cave is readily evident. In 1906, Mammoth Cave became accessible by steamboat with the construction of a lock and dam at nearby Brownsville, Kentucky. This was the steamboat landing to access the cave system. The section of the Green River that flows through the park is legally designated as Kentucky Wild River by the Kentucky General Assembly through the Office of Kentucky Nature Preserve's Wild Rivers program. The Mammoth Cave Railroad played an important role in bringing more tourism to Mammoth Cave for 45 years, beginning in 1886. It also served residents as an avenue of trade, to ship farm products to the town of Glasgow Junction, now called Park City, and bring back supplies from the merchants in town nearly 9 miles away. Instead of a bridge, the National Park Service operates a unique cable ferry across the Green River to connect the park's northern and southern halves. It's been operating since 1934 and is capable of carrying only 2 vehicles at a time. Immediately adjacent to the ferry is one of the most unique small boat launches that I've ever encountered. There are several overnight opportunities right at Mammoth Cave. The National Park operates a park lodge immediately adjacent to the visitor center. They also provide a number of cabins for overnight guests. More family cabins are currently under construction nearby the lodge. Finally, there's a forested National Park campground for both RVs and tents, just a short walk from the cave entrance. However, we love camping alongside bodies of water and found what we were looking for at nearby Nolan River Lake. When we come right back, following a quick ad break, we'll share our campsite, catch up with some friends, and kayak Nolan River Lake before we descend into Mammoth Cave itself. So stay tuned. We're camping in the beautiful southern Kentucky hill country, only a 30-minute drive from Mammoth Cave, at nearby Nolan River Lake, where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers operates the expansive Murder Deer Campground on several adjacent peninsulas jutting into the reservoir, one of 3 campgrounds the Corps operates on the lake. There are 167 sites at Murder Deer, 81 of which have electric and water hookups. Our waterfront water and electric site here costs a very reasonable $32 per night, plus a $2 daily upcharge on weekend nights. There is a boat ramp, playground, and group picnic shelter all adjacent to the campground. Other amenities provided here include showers, a dump station, flush facilities, playgrounds within the campground, a public marina, and hiking trails. This campground is open from mid-April through late October. Visiting this part of Kentucky provides us with the opportunity to catch up with our good friends John and Joanne Tardif. Since the last time we saw them 4 years ago, in our episode 151 while they were camp hosting in Utah, they've left the road, exchanging full-time RV life for their new home in the nearby town of Glasgow. despite its popularity, nights at Mudderdeer Campground have been quiet and peaceful. And our restful sleep here has only been enhanced by our quality RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. Improve your sleep while camping with a new RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. They offer 4 different mattress constructions in 21 different sizes, depending on preference and price point. Everything from standard queen to all of those funky, odd RV sizes. Brooklyn Bedding manufactures all of its mattresses right at their factory in Arizona. And RVmattress.com ships them right to your door for free, all rolled up and compressed in a vacuum seal. Just cut the wrap to unroll the mattress onto your bed, then cut the vacuum seal. For our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding starts with a layer of high-density foam for a supported base. Just above the base, an 8-inch core of over 1,000 individually encased coils provides the essential support. Immediately above the coils is a 1-inch layer of memory foam and 2-inch layer of hyper-elastic TitanFlex foam. Finally, at the very top is a 1.5-inch layer of antimicrobial CopperFlex foam with TitanCool, which is designed to maintain an ideal sleep body temperature of 88 degrees. Every RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. Visit rvmattress.com/grandadventure and use code GRANDADVENTURE to get a full 30% off your entire order. Camping Waterside has also provided me with the opportunity to take the kayak off our truck and place it at the water's edge right at our campsite for ready access to relaxing paddles after work. Kentucky's Nolan River, which drains into the Green River 8 miles downstream of the dam, was impounded by the United States Army Corps of Engineers in 1963 to create this extensive reservoir that expands to over 5,000 acres in summer. The dam was constructed to control flooding on the Nolan and Green Rivers as part of an overall comprehensive flood control plan for the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. Visitation here averages about 2 million people each year, where fishing for bass, bluegill, catfish, crappie, trout, and walleye is a recreational mainstay. The Nolan River is named for the early American explorer and Kentucky militia member Benjamin Lynn. Serving under George Rogers Clark during the Revolutionary War, Lynn traveled to Illinois to spy on the British and Indian forces, and also played a pivotal role in the Northwest Campaign from 1778 to 1779. So, how did that translate to Nolan? Following his return to Kentucky, Lynn and several friends were camped in the Green River area. Lynn became separated from his friends and could not be found for several days. Each night, they returned from the search reporting no Lynn, leading to the naming of the river at which they camped. Just east of our campground, the COE's Mudderdeer Marina is filled with large houseboats and other watercraft. Immediately following another quick ad break to pay the bills, we'll finally head below ground into Mammoth Cave, so stay tuned. The National Park Service offers several cave tours to visitors. Some notable features of Mammoth Cave, such as Grand Avenue, Frozen Niagara, and Fat Man's Misery, can be seen on lighted tours ranging from 1 to 6 hours in length. We've scored tickets to the park's Domes and Dripstones tour, a 2-hour guided tour through 3/4 of a mile of the cave system, accessed via a separate entrance a few miles southeast of the visitor center. So following a brief orientation from our park ranger guide, our tour begins with a bus ride. Tickets for Mammoth Cave tours are reservable through recreation.gov, and tickets to the Domes and Dripstones tour cost $30 each. Throughout the 19th century, the fame of Mammoth Cave would grow to where the cave became an international sensation. The difficulties of farming life in the poor soil of Kentucky cave country influenced local landowners to exploit their smaller nearby caves, particularly given the enormous success of Mammoth Cave as a tourist attraction. This led to bitter competition for tourist money that became known as the Kentucky Cave Wars. This section of Mammoth Cave was initially called Morrison Cave, before its connection to Mammoth Cave was proven. In the early 1920s, a failed oil prospector named George Morrison bought a couple thousand acres of land and blasted out a sinkhole that emitted cool air from the cave system below. Finding inscriptions from well-known Mammoth Cave tour guides on the walls of Morrison Cave, he was able to show that Mammoth Cave's operators were giving tours of the cave through land they did not own. By the spring of 1922, he opened his cave up to the public and advertised it as the new entrance to Mammoth Cave. Lawsuits were filed, and for a time, different entrances to Mammoth Cave were operated in direct competition with each other. Like Morrison's original grand staircase, we're descending 250 feet through pits and domes to reach the large underground room in Mammoth Cave that Morrison called Grand Central Station. The upper sandstone caprock here is relatively hard for water to penetrate, except for where vertical cracks occur. This protective layer means that many of the older upper passages of the cave system, like those that we're passing through now, are very dry, with no stalactites, stalagmites, or other formations, which require flowing or dripping water to develop. However, the sandstone caprock layer has been dissolved and eroded at many locations within the park, such as the frozen Niagara room we're arriving at now. To truly compete with the historic section of Mammoth Cave, Morrison needed to discover something that they didn't have, and through further exploration in 1923, he found thousands of formations in his section of cave. Because of his discovery, Morrison was able to dominate the tourism business in the Mammoth Cave area and draw attention and profit his way. So we hope that you've enjoyed visiting this beautiful area of southwestern Kentucky with us. Coming up next week, we're going to be visiting another unit of the National Park Service by driving down the Natchez Trace from Nashville, Tennessee down to Natchez, Mississippi. So if you're not yet a grand adventurer yourself, there is no better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure, which we premiere right here every Wednesday evening. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand that it is extremely important to us that if you like this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comment section where we'd love to hear from you each and every week. So until next Wednesday, from the Natchez Trace, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.